Good day to each and everyone. My name is Lenard Canja, a first-year chemical engineering student from the University of Mindanao. EDP101 code 1993 with the time 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. And today, I'm gonna present to you my final practical examination where it is a program where it let the users to choose 5 different mathematical topics and solve one problem on each topic. So you can expect in this program that I'll be using 4 different structures, including looping, arrays, conditional structure, and last but not the least, the defined function structure. So without further ado, let's go and let's start. So I'm gonna go to the main body of the program. So in the first screen of the program, the main menu will be seen. So in the main menu, the user will pick from the following mathematical topics. So for number 1, algebra, number 2, statistic, number 3, calculus, number 4, trigonometry, number 5, physics, and last but not the least, the exit button. So I'm using a conditional structure, which specifically the switch structure, so that the program will allow to switch from different topics. So for the case 1, which is the algebra, I'm using the linear equation. So it will let the user to see what is the structure in a linear equation which is ax plus b is equal to cx plus d. And it will let the user to input the value of a, the value of the b, the value of the c, and the value of the d. So in the end of that, the user also will see the equation that they made. So a, which is inputted, x plus b inputted b is equal to inputted c and inputted d. And the last is the value of x. So because we're using a defined function, the formula or the solution we're going to be using is separated from the main body. So it is used to make things easier if you are in a big group, so that you can segregate the responsibility. So that is the use of defined function structure. So case 1, so double A lin, double A, capital A, B, C, and D. We use capitals because we are avoiding errors. So int answer. So we are using a conditional, specifically the if and else statement. So if A is equal to C and B is equal to D, so the computer will output there is an infinite solution. So if else A is equal to C, then this is a wrong equation. So if those two conditions are not met, then else answer is equal to the quantity of B minus D divided by A minus C. And the answer of the question of the user will be inputted here in this line. So let's go to the second problem, which is the statistic. So statistic, I'm using the standard deviation. So I'm using a array structure. So specifically with an element of 5. So the computer will ask to enter 5 elements, and using a for structure, I is equal to 0, then I is less than to 5, then plus 1. So input the 5 elements, then and standard deviation is equal to, so again we're using a defined function, that's why the solution and the the formula is separated from the main body. So case 2, so float calculated as d, just like we did before, float data and its elements. So integer I, float sum, so we declare the sum, the mean and the standard deviation into 0. So for I is equal to 0, then I less than to 5, then plus 1. So the sum is equal to the data. So the computer will add the data given by the user. So we're gonna add the 5 elements. Then mean is equal to sum divided by 5. So mean is equal to the sum that is processed, then divided by 5. So for I is equal to 0, then I less than 5, I plus 1. So our standard deviation is the power of data minus mean square root of 2. So return answer to the square root of standard deviation divided by 4. So why divided by 4? Because we should minus it with 1 to make the correct answer. So I'm gonna show you later on how to solve a standard deviation and to prove that this program is working and has the right answer. So for the case number 3, calculus. So it's my favorite because I personally build this. And it's a simple program, but it is useful. So calculus, so solve for the first derivative. So in this particular program, calculus, the computer will gonna be solve the first derivative of the first term of your equation. So for example, it will only gonna solve one term. So example 3x squared. So the program will process that. So enter the base, input the exponent, and the equation is, so the computer will let the users to see the equation that they build. And the first derivative of the equation is, so again we're using a defined function structure, so the formula and the solution is separated. So it's a simple, very very simple program for solving the derivative of the first term. So int answer int QQ, so answer is equal to Q times W, return answer. So to prove that, I'm gonna show it later when I compile and run this program. So for the case number 4, the trigonometry, the sine law. So the program will ask the angle of BC and AB to solve for the angle AC. So again, we're using a defined function. So here, the solution on finding the line AC. Okay, the formula is sin times B multiplied by the quantity of AB divided by sin of C. So return answer. So our last mathematical topic is physics. So solving for the potential energy could be useful on every situation if you want to know the potential of energy of an object. So of course, the program will ask for the mass, the height, and it will compute the total potential energy. And of course, we're using the defined function, so the solution is here. So we all know that the formula for finding a potential energy is mass times gravity times height of the object. So return answer. So here's the solution. So I will not further explain on how a defined function works because we already explained it from the past exams to make this video short. So I'm gonna compile and run the program now and try to solve each topic so I can prove to you that this program is working and correct. So it's compiling. Let's continue. So as I said before, the first thing that will appear on the screen is the main menu, where the user can select from the following selection: 1. Algebra, 2. Statistic, 3. Calculus, 4. Trigonometry, 5. Physics, and 6 is the exit button. So for number 1, let's choose algebra first. And I'm gonna show it to you in paper to prove that this program is correct. So 1. Is 1. So algebra, linear equation. So it will show you the structure of the linear equation. So first, the computer will ask, what is the value of A? So for example, 2. What is the value of B is 3. The value of C is 4. And the value of D is 5. So the computer will generate the equation 2x plus 3 is equal to 4x plus 5. And the value of x is equal to negative 1. So let me show you and prove to you that the value x is really negative 1. To prove that my program is correct, so our equation is 2x plus 3 is equal to 4x plus 5. So first, we're gonna be transpose our like terms. So 2x minus 4x is equal to 5x. We also transpose 3. So minus 3. So 2x minus 4x is equal to negative 2x. So equal to 2. So to dispose the negative 2, we divide it both sides. So negative 2 over negative 2x over negative 2, 2 over negative 2x. So we're gonna cancel this 2. So x is equal to 2 divided by negative 2 is equal to negative 1. So the answer is x is equal to negative 1 and the program was right. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So main menu, please pick the following selection. So second, let's pick statistic. Number 2. Enter. So very laggy. So statistics, standard deviation. So enter 5 elements. So for example, I'm gonna enter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And 5. Excuse me. Enter. So the standard deviation of these 5 numbers is 1.58. So I'm gonna prove to you that the answer is really 1.58. For the standard deviation, our numbers are ranged from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first, we're gonna be looking for the mean of these 5 numbers. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is equal to 15. Then we're gonna divide it by 5. So 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. So as we get that mean, we're gonna subtract it to each element. So minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. So 1 minus 3 is equal to negative 2. So 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 1. So 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. Then 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Next is, we're gonna be raising it to 2. Each of this subtracted mean. So the square of negative 2 is equal to 4. The square of negative 1 is equal to 1. Square of 0 is 0. Square of 1 is 1. The square of 2 is 4. The next step we're gonna do is to divide this 5. And we're gonna be adding this 5, excuse me. So 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 is equal to 10. Then the rule implies that we should be subtracting the number of elements. So 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Is equal to 4. So we're gonna divide it by 4. So 10 divided by 4 is equal to 2.5. And the last step is to get the square root of 2.5. The square root of 2.5 is equal to 1.5. So let's continue. So for number 3, calculus. Very cute program. So the program will ask you to enter the base, so for example 3, and the exponent is 4. So the equation is 3x to the power 4. So the first derivative of the equation is 12x cubed, 12x cubed. So it's correct. But let me prove it to you on the paper. Prove that my answer is correct. So the derivative of 3x to the power of 4 is, so first we're gonna do is to multiply this exponent in the body. So 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Then as the rule implies, we should minus this with 1. So 3. So this is the answer. 12x to the cube. Okay, let's continue. So the fourth is the trigonometry. Trigonometry sign law, so enter the angle of B. Example 34. Angle of C is 56. The angle of AB is 12. So find AC is negative 12. So press key to continue. So for the last one is the physics. Let's enter 5. So enter the mass. So for example, my mass is 45 kilos. And the height is, let's say, 12 feet. So the total potential energy is 5,292 joules. At the potential energy, we should need our mass, gravity, and the height. So P is stand for potential energy. So our mass is 45 times the constant of gravity, which is 9.8, times the height, which is 12. So if we input it to our calculator, 45 times 9.8 times 12 is equal to 5,292, which is correct. And let's prove it on the paper. So last but not least, the exit button number 6. Let's see if it's working. I almost forgot. So okay, let's go for number 6. Never mind. So the exit button. The computer will input, thank you for using the system. Press key to continue. And my name, the ID number, my course code, and the time of my subject. So that would be all. Thank you.